And here we are, a sunny day on PGP Motorsports Park as the finalists go out for the final race. 24 karts going out to get points. The last four are the people in the top four of the last chance qualifying that you saw last. And now here we are for the final podium for the trophy. This is where you're gonna get the points, and this is where you're gonna progress yourself in the season overall championship.
Coming down, we got all the top 20 from the previous heats. Gonna start lining up and hopefully have a really good final race. Brilliant blue skies today, nice and warm, track's warm, tires are warm. Hopefully got a track worker going down, getting ready. Everybody's lining up. Zoom in on the action here. It's really hard to tell what the grid start is. Everything happens so fast, but as things get lined out, we can have that data for you shortly. Round in double apex now, getting ready to start this final race of the day. Everybody trying to get those championship points. Hopefully the back four that were in last chance qualifying can make some moves happen into turn one as they round roller coaster. Coming down the front straight. Flag is not yet waved. Green flag! As they come down the front straight into turn one, we got some three wide action in the back. Everybody squeezing in through, trying to get the best positions they can. Still too wide going into turn two. Turn two, lots of action in the back. Someone's getting spun. That's Danny Hernandez in the back getting spun. Manny Hernandez, my bad. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's gonna have a lot of work to catch up. But top two, still fighting down the back straight. 3 and 4, everything's gonna happen. Let's see what happens in turn 4. Trickiest corner of the entire circuit. Top two make it through, everyone leaving space, lots of squabbles, and they make it. Coming through turn 6. I think that's Spencer Foote in the lead, I think. We'll get with Sergey in second. It's really hard to tell. I think Donnie's in fourth, maybe Kirk in third.
And as everyone starts lining up, maybe trying to make take-back positions at the end of the first lap, they go around the double apex. Manny may have gotten spun out and may be way in the back, but this is a 20-minute final race. There is a chance to close that gap. If he's fast enough at the front, we got the top two, and then too wide for third and fourth place, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and then we got a huge clump going through the first corner. Everyone's just in a bunch of different positions, several wide, 2 or 3 wide, going down the straight, and just trying to get every position they can get. Harb has moved up quite a bit, starting in dead last. He's now moved up further up from dead last, and we got the first two running away with it, keeping it straight, but we have potentially 2 wide going through here. He's able to overtake him before the braking zone even starts. The draft was so good for him. And as they go through here near the back, it looks like 2x2 for a second there. Are they going to push each other off the track? No, they keep it clean. They always leave the space. It's always good to see out here. And they go through the complex corners of 6 and 7 into top of the world after bus stop. Very complex corners. The corners just open up and close on you before you expect it. And if you're going too wide through it, you never know. If someone's on the inside, they might bump you wide, and then you're stuck in the pit with a long climb out in order to get out.
And coming down the front straight, we have our race leader. That is Spencer Foote, followed by Sergey Kostov. In third, we got Donnie Ward. Fourth, that's Barrett. Fighting for fifth is Blake Sherman on the inside. Paulo Cassini on the outside. Blake loses out to Paulo. Paulo takes P5, brilliant overtake. And behind him, still hungry for points, is Davidson Mann with William Yee and Alex Seguin for 8th and 9th. Closing out the top 10, I think that is David. So there's your standings for now, off the top of my head. Man, what's George is running away with the race. We got everybody crowding into turn 4 now. Really hard to make a move into turn 4, but some people make it work. See seems like everybody's single file, and Manny is doing his best to catch up. He's putting in those laps. Love to see the determination. But coming down in top of the world, everybody running out single file. Not too many side-by-side shenanigans through bus stop, because that only slows you down. Only do it if you can commit to the corner and make that overtake stick. But coming through light bulb, everybody seems to be behaving. And coming down?
Coming down, we have the top two making a huge gap. Sergey in second place. But if you look further back, it looks like Manny has already made it, or Paolo Bettini has already made it up to 5th or 6th place. But here they go, 2 by 2 through turn 1. We'll see how that ends as they still maintain 2 by 2, going too wide. But defense from Blake Sherman. Someone's able to make a move around the outside work on turn 2, but is he going to hold on to it as they go through turn 3 and onto the big back straight where DRS is everything. Or not DRS, but the slipstream. But it feels like DRS with how much of a speed difference it is once you're really in the back of them. And it feels like they're just going so much slower than you. As they go through these sequence of corners, a huge squabble behind them. They're able to keep it completely clean. A little bit of bump, actually, as someone's rear end gets a little upset. They try to make a move on the inside. Is that going to work? Oh, it looks like a little bit of contact. It sounded rough, but it might have been just the engine backfiring. Manny, actually, it looks like he's closing the gap, especially with all the fighting going on.
So in the front, it looks like Blake Sherman might be having engine problems. He's going slightly slower than everyone else down the straight. But his defensive driving is brilliant. As I say that, he gets overtaken by Alex again. Coming down the front straight, we still have the 2 leaders duking it out. In P3 and 4 off in their own world. That's Barrett, followed by Donnie. That's Paulo, William Yee, Alex, and oh no, it looks like Blake fell back. So we got the squabble for P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the action's happening for P7, and in the back, oh, we still got some action going into 2. Can they make it too wide? Kind of. All right, we got the leaders rounding turn 4 now. They're just off in their own world. P3 and 4, also off in their own world. Paulo on a charge, closing the gap. Followed closely by William, Alex, and that looks to be Kirk and Davidson. Blake is fortunately falling back slightly as looks like Randy Cole is trying to defend against those behind him. So going through bus stop, top of the world, starting to mellow out, but we still have a long race to go.
Top 2 running away with it, and indeed they should. Just looking at their lap times, they've been setting 79.0s, where the fastest one was like a 79.9. I bet they're about to set a 78 coming across the line here, especially if they're extremely quick. The lap times are just brilliant, especially with how warm the track is. It's just a quick track, 79.0s, 79.5s, pretty much all the way down. I bet we all have to look very far back before we even see an 80-second lap time, if there is an 80-second lap time from these guys. They're all lining up. There's a couple battles here and there. I see 2 wide for a little bit. He's trying to make his way around the outside, but it's not quite able to get the speed difference to stick. But he's really rubbing his nose in there as he tries to maybe possibly make a move on the inside there. No, he holds back a little bit, and we'll just try to take the slipstream. But we have a 2x2 battle for the top 4. So we have top 2, Spencer and Sergey, and then 3rd and 4th right next to each other, just constantly in the line. Everyone's lining up. I think the most interesting battle is this battle of 4, because they are nose to tail, and they're constantly trying to make moves just to try to get every little bit of position that they can. And then Manny, I think the gap has just been closing if his lap times have been holding up. We won't be able to see him because it's only the top 10 that are displayed, but it's still a very interesting battle to watch as they go through light bulb and onto the front straight.
Down the front straight, our leaders once more. We got Sergey pointing forward. They really want to run away with this. Seems like they're content. Doesn't look so with Donnie sniffing out to see if he can find an opening from Barrett, who's in P3. 5 and 6, we got Paulo defending against William Yee. Alex again in P7, who is off in his own race. P8 and 9, that is Davidson, and I can't tell who that is in P9, but in P10, that's Blake Sherman. Unfortunately, slowly dropping back into the clutches of P11, who is Randy Cole, being trailed by David in P12. Off in P13, we might see an overtake into turn 4. They're pretty close. We'll see if we can get it. Side by side, going in, and he backs out. Safe and smart, live to see another day. Oh, no, they're still side by side. Nice, lots of action in the back. Love to see the passion on display, especially from Manny. Got spun at the start, but he's still in it. Anything can happen in motorsport. So as all the racers are coming around now, you can see the gaps really starting to form. You can see the top 2 coming down the front straight once more. 3 and 4, the top 2 pushing each other. They really don't want to give an inch to anybody else. Follows in 5th. We got side by side going into 1. Barrett defends against Donnie. Couldn't quite make that work. Round the outside, really tricky. But Paulo makes the move. Paulo in P4 on William Lee. We got Alex in his own world, P6, followed by P7 and 8. Might have been some contact going into 3. All the drivers giving their 100% today. Absolutely love to see it going into 4.
I think it might have been Paulo that was overtaken by William Yee, maybe?
Yeah, Paulo's still ahead of William.
Oh, Paulo's still in front of William. He must have done a return move then, a send back. But yeah, Paulo's in 5th, trying desperately to hold on to it. But looking at the lap times, William Yee is actually a little bit faster and is just desperately trying to get past Paulo. Paulo was saying that he was plagued by a pretty bad kart in Heat 1, which is why he had to start all the way down in 14th. But very impressive to bring it back up to 15th again. And I think the biggest problem that Paulo might be facing right now is just lack of slipstream, because as we see these battles 2 by 2 by 2, like we have the first 2 really close together using slipstream to get ahead, using the new bump drafting rule that's been lifted so that way they can bump draft and get further ahead as these guys are doing. And then same with Paulo and William Yee, just trying to get further ahead of the pack. And then there's all the way down in 6th place, he's by himself. He's not getting that extra bump draft space. But behind him, there's another set of 2 going through using the bump draft rule. And then as we get further back, away from the more pro-like and the people that were in Pro-Am in the last season. Oh, big spin in the back. Oh, there's an incident. Manny gets up 2 places, but these 2 people might have come together and collided and got a bad spin. Is that, who are those in the back? But very unfortunate, especially at this point in the race. I think it's past the 10-minute mark. It's like the pace of a normal league race at this point. They're not going to get those positions back. But
Manny overtook both of them.
But Manny overtook both of them, able to get those positions. Got to capitalize on what you can. Here we have a battle of 3 in the mid pack. Looks to possibly kick off, but as they go into the technical corners, they're going to likely just ease up, go through the line, get through there safely, and just do what they can to survive and live to get onto the straight so that way they can properly make their move.
And during all that action, it looks like William got by Paulo again. Not sure when that happened. There's a lot of action going on track. Our leaders are coming down the front straight, followed by P3 and 4, Donnie, giving everything he can. Can he make a move? Not quite. And William pulling away from Paulo, who's now in P6. Alex catching up in P7. Battle for P8. Davidson defends down the inside. Gets Blake Sherman trying to make a comeback. Blake Sherman on the outside. Doesn't quite make it, but Randy Cole is catching right up. And Todd has been having the drive of his life. He has moved up. He was one of the last chance qualifiers. He's in like P14 now. He's having a brilliant drive today. As we see them going down the front straight, or back straight, my bad. Oh, side by side. Can he make the move stick? Really on the limit. And Silas, is that Silas? Defends. Silas and Todd having brilliant drives after their last chance qualifying.
Thomas Tomlinson on the cart, so that's got to be Silas, who's made a really big impact in the race as he started as one of the bottom 4 that progressed through the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, so you can't mark those last chance qualifiers out as we see the top 2 coming down the front. And once again, there's nothing between these 2. They are just running away with it. P3 and 4 pushing each other to the limit. That's Barrett in 3 and Donnie in 4. have a kind of a train coming down now. Whoops, my bad. Zoomed in just a little bit too much.
So the gap between Paolo and William just completely falling. I think there might be an issue with like the kart and like the top line speed because he just wasn't able to keep up even in the draft. And Paolo has now fallen prey to Alexander, who's behind him, possibly looking to get that spot back. And the race will progress because Paolo, we know, being in the slower kart, is just gonna have to defend everything he can because he's just not gonna get this race win. We won't be seeing him on the podium or even on the top step of the podium as we saw last time, but he will fight tooth and nail for every position that he can. And if he's lucky, maybe Alexander will just see Paolo and resign to just bum drafting him since he knows he's faster. But then again, he did catch up to him in this speed. So we're going to see down this front straight if Alex wants to work with Paolo, or just pass him and leave him with the slow car. Oh, incident light bulb! Huge dirt cloud. Not sure what happened. Did someone push someone wide?
I think somebody might have gotten pushed wide. And I can't tell who that is. Unfortunate for him. Yeah, the track worker is coming to he is beat, and that looks like that is his race over. Unfortunate. Those light bulb turns are very tricky. It gets dusty. Unfortunate. We'll have who that is in a bit. But our race leader is now rounding turn 5, coming into 4. Paulo has been passed. Not sure where he's at. Oh, Paulo's getting, oh no, that might have been Paulo in that incident. I'm not sure. But Paulo gets passed by Alex Seguin. And behind Paulo, we have Todd, who is having a hero drive. Gets past Randy and Kirk, I think. I'm not sure. We'll have that data for you shortly. Or it's on screen now. I don't have access to it immediately. But it looks unfortunate for kart number 10. And Manny's up 3 positions now. The gap between P1 and P2 is growing. So that looks like it's their race. But 3 and 4 are still neck and neck. Donnie has been hounding Barrett this whole race. And Barrett has been handling the pressure like a pro. Meanwhile, in P5, Alex on Paulo the defending champion. Still having brilliant drives. See if we can find any more action. As the karts are now starting the next lap. Manny coming down, turn 1. And some karts come down turn 4 now.
They go around the sequence of corners, turn 4 or 5. Seems to be pretty close. We might see some potential overtake attempts here. We see Randy Cole looking at that battle and thinking, oh, if they start battling, I'm going to be able to get their spots if they make any mistakes. Because, you know, sometimes you just need to keep behind them to keep them honest. But looking at the battle with Paulo and Alex, after Alex is passed in the faster kart, it looks like Alex's kart might not be quite fast enough to leave Paulo behind. And so Paulo was able to keep in the slipstream and actually shorten the gap between himself and William Ye, who passed him earlier on. But it's the white flag, and so Paulo's going to need to race everything he has to get everything that he can, and that at minimum will be the spot that Alex has in front of him. And 1st and 2nd secured between Spencer and Sergey. 3rd and 4th secured. 5th looks to be pretty secured by William Ye, but for the legendary position of 6th place, Paulo will fight tooth and nail to get this position in this last lap that we have. It looks like there's this person might be retiring.
He just got a new kart.
A new kart. He wasn't satisfied with the performance of the kart. So on the last lap, after going off, he gets a new kart and will finish the race, possibly a lap down. But 1st and 2nd between Spencer and Sergey. Looks like Sergey's fallen off a little bit back behind, and it'll be the fight between Alex and Paulo that will be interested crossing the line for 6th place.
But here comes the race leader. Gonna take the checkered flag. We have Spencer Foot followed by Sergey Kostov. as they take the checkered flag. B3 drag race to the line. It's neck and neck. I can't tell who won that between Barrett and Donnie. And Alex and Paulo also drag race to the line. We still got Davidson, Kirk, Randy, and I think that completes our top 10. Drag race to the line. And David got it.
He jumped in the car.
David won that drag race to the line. Everybody else, brilliant drives. Fantastic racing today. We still have some carts. There goes Manny.
Early spin. Drops in last place, gets to keep some positions by just keeping it consistent and crossing the line, not in last.
If you want to finish first you have to finish. It looks like these two that got tangled earlier gave Manny those 3 spots. And the person that got caught up in that major incident manages to finish the race in a new car. Brilliant racing from everyone involved. That is the final race for today at PGP. That is round 2 of the summer 2023 season. And we will see you in the next one.
Anyways, we're going to start off in 3rd place. Get back out here. Get back up on the podium after a long time. Best lap of a 79-1. 3rd place, Steven Barrett. Coming in 2nd place, part of a breakaway that started off honestly on lap 1 there. You had a little bit of a gap and it just kept getting bigger the whole session. Running a 78.821, 0.901 off the lead. Sergey Kovalskov. And taking today's win, after a dominant heat race win, he was like a straightaway ahead of the entire crew. He ended up with a 78.9 in the final race to give him almost a 2nd lead. 1st place, Spencer Foote. Yeah, Spencer. Spencer, let's see a smile. Yeah. Yeah.